So, Crow stands between Master Neki Senior and Queen Banana Bird as an androgyny, as a union of two opposites. This theme of a bird on top of a mountain is shown on both the box arts for Donkey Kong Country 2 and Donkey Kong Country 3. The bird is on the left and the mountain is on the right. However, in Donkey Kong Country 2, the bird image is doubled. Squawks and Screech, both essentially the same character sprite, face each other. Here, the bird archetype is formed by an inner duality. Crow is two people. Crow is a body, and Crow is a ghost. This is a trend followed by K. Rool in every game. You kill him once, he comes back to life, and you kill him again. The first time he's on top of his castle, and the second time he's under the earth. This second encounter is like a mythological return from the dead from the underworld. Donkey Kong Country plays this another way, by rolling credits. So K. Rool returns after the game, beyond the game itself. There are always two K. Rools. One is his body and the other is his soul. One is overground and the other is underground. This duality is interesting when looked at in the area where Crow returns, Gloomy Gulch. The area is home to two ghosts, Cackle and Cloak. In the manual, they're even introduced as a pair, as an inseparable unit. Cackle is the bones, the structure, but without a skin. Cloak is pure skin, pure clothing, without an internal structure. Cackle is more anthropomorphic. Cloak is more ethereal, more hidden in darkness. The first Crow is captain of the Gangplank Galleon, and when we kill him we enter Crocodile Cauldron, where a sunken ship lies. Not just that, but again in Creme Quay there is a sunken ship. Both of them are snapped by the middle. There seems to have been some echo between Crow and the galleon. Once Crow is split in two, the ship becomes two broken halves. And yet, the manual tells us that the galleon was not a seaworthy ship to begin with. Maybe Crow was already split in two, already captain of a ghost ship. Maybe it was just a question of perspective. The very word gangplank refers to pirates making prisoners walk the plank, so the ship itself has no real life about it. It's a ship destined towards the underworlds of hell, which is where it goes, towards Crocodile Cauldron. So let's take for a moment this possibility. Defeating Crow in the first area causes a split into two halves. The unity of the egg gets cracked into multiplicity. Gangplank Galleon, a solid ship, gets divided into two broken ships. It is the step from the ocean into the island itself. Then Crow appears again at the same intersection, as the boss in between the island and the ship, since the next boss is already the Flying Croc. Already, this means he is the boss that always stands after and before K. Rool. Somehow, the ship in the sea and the airship in the sky are the two connecting nodes of the island. All of them together are 7 areas, without counting the Lost World. The volcano, then, is the number 8. In Donkey Kong Country 3, too, the volcano is referred to as the Lost World, the number 8 representing infinity. It is as if the island, and our quest through the island, is a quest through finite space and time, through multiplicity, whereas the hidden volcano behind matter is the unconscious, the ghost, the spirit, infinity in some sense. Crocodile Cauldron and Creme Quay both stand on sea level, but all other areas ascend gradually, step by step. This places the Cauldron and the Quay even more as reflections of each other, or as the Gangplank Galleon split into halves. Let's look at them. Crocodile Cauldron presents us with Cleaver, a sword boss held by a fiery hand. Creme Quay features Cudgel, who holds a club in his hand. They are the only two weapon-wielding bosses of this sort. Furthermore, Cudgel is obviously Clubber. Clubber's kiosk is set in a foggy forest setting, of which there are only 2 in this island. Gloomy Gulch and Creme Quay. My guess would be that this is in Creme Quay, since the trees in both areas are thin and straight, with a green hue, whereas all the trees in Gloomy Gulch have much more crooked trunks and a bluish fog over them. If my supposition were true and his kiosk is in the quay, then I think the boss of the area, Cudgel, is not only similar to Clubber, but is indeed Clubber himself. But Clubber's kiosk is the entrance to the Lost World, a volcano shaped like a Kremling head. Just like Crocodile Cauldron, the first area where the kiosk actually appears. This also unites both areas under the symbolic domain of Clubber. Since Clubber is named after his weapon, and all his strength resides in the arm, I am going to consider that handheld weapons are a key symbol for him. Cleaver, then, could be a representation of Clubber's club. There is, in fact, a sword next to his kiosk. Cleaver shoots fireballs, furthermore, turning it into more than just a bludgeoning weapon. It is a weapon in a more abstract sense, a visual representation of Clubber's strength, his energy. Cleaver would be pure libido, blind animal force of the unconscious, which Cudgel is then able to wield, to direct with his will. Cudgel could be the conscious mind, the ego, the will, the muscle that holds the unconscious power.